What a calculated crime you have conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. No! Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your head, please. Sholmes. Hi, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Right now, we are in the middle of a sort of row between these two people in front of us right now. Who was it? Benedict and... why can't I recall her name? Oh my goodness. And her. Yeah. So, what happens is that... hang on, wait. What is her name? Is that we are supposed to... I feel like we should be helping her. Hang on. Yes, what's her name again? Gina Lestrade. Okay, yes, Lestrade. Don't know his age. I honestly have no idea what's going on yet. I feel like she's telling partial truths. And him, I don't know. He knows the passcode. But I feel like she herself got the pawned back the items. No, sorry, not pawned back the items. Redeemed the items. She should have known the passcode too, right? I feel like Mr. Windybanks here have some explaining to do. So what if we talk to him first? Like, he gave the stuff to her. There must be a reason. Look at Mr. Windybank watching diligently over his shop. There are still so many things I'm curious about. But somehow I don't really feel like this is the right time to be browsing. No, I want to talk to him. Hey, one moment. Let me just move myself. Okay, I guess. Okay. Calming this fraught situation must be our first priority. But what do you want me to do? And I'm fairly certain that we can find just a great thing we need among the articles here in this shop. Oh, the camera? The camera? The photo? What? I don't get it. The camera? What do we need? Do we just talk to him? Do we talk to her? What? Wow, Miss Lestrade is really looking daggers at that mysterious gentleman. We need to do something to calm things down before she loses control and attacks him again. Like what? The camera, right? But what would the camera do though? Look at those piercing eyes. He's clearly in no mood to talk. We have to do something quickly before this mysterious gentleman leaves to fetch the police or something. The thing is, I have no idea where's the camera. Him? I suppose we can ask him. Sholmes might be able to do something. I don't see the camera you say. Okay, fine. Let's... Sholmes, please. Mr. Sholmes? What are you examining with such keen interest there? As you enjoy a bar of caramel, I see. Is that what's in his hand? So, you found me at last, Mr. Naruhodo. I mean, you were there all along. Sorry? After that young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was forced to lurk in the shadows. You were right there. Cruelly ostracized as the rest of you partook in the jovial atmosphere of fellowship. I had nothing to occupy my mind, but was too ashamed to let society see what my downfall had done to me. You could have just gone back to play your violin. So feigning mock interest, I pretended to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place. Whilst you shrewdly observed, knowing on the only friend I have left, this 7% solution of caramel. So what's the other 93%? Pray, do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruhodo? But how could you? I was so lonely, so desperately lonely. Then why on earth didn't you rejoin the conversation like you were here all along? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know. Yes, I overheard much of your conversation. Or rather, in my craving for human contact, my ears devoured every word that was uttered. You really were sad, weren't you? Poor Mr. Sholmes, I feel simply awful for you. It would seem that my inferences are correct. Oh, surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again? No? My dear madame, sometimes I wonder, will my genius for deduction to be commoditized? How much could I pawn it for? I can't say for sure. Seems Mr. Sholmes has had another of his flashes of inspiration, which we'll probably have to fix. But who knows if it will help to resolve the situation between Miss Lestrade and the mysterious gentleman. What's the right thing to do here? Listen, of course. Let's listen. We have to correct things if it's wrong. Well, Miss Lestrade, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament. Where the blue blazes have you been, eh? Pardon? When a lady's in trouble, a true gent's supposed to be there to help straight away, not an hour later. She's got a point. Harsh. But she's got a point. And who, pray tell, are you? Mr. Agate Benedict. Anyway, I'm not sure I really like Mr. Agate Benedict. I think he is suspicious. You have in my eyes a veritably encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person, okay? Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn. I beg your pardon. The first is this. The true reason for your visit to this pawnbrokery today is something you have not yet revealed. Okay? And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation, one you will orchestrate, with intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what say you to my deductions? How? It's turned as white as a hard-boiled egg. It would seem that once again, Mr. Sholmes has made a flawless deduction. But then when it comes to breaking it down, just who do you think you are, sir? Ah, yes, as I hoped. That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. So, shall we begin? The time has come for yet another Sherlock Sholmes logic and reasoning spectacular. Okay, sure. Mystery Man's aim. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. You all claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street, okay? But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. Oh? What's he holding up? What's that? Was revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. Oh, it's a staff recruitment flyer. Okay. The piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted advertisement from this very shop. Is it? Yet even the most unobservant would soon realize that a man of your appearance has no need of such employ. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. Okay? The cane with which you unwittingly clutch to your person exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. What utter rot! I've had this cane for years. Oh, is he going to pawn that? AG. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule. I don't know what's that. The end of any working cane would be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect the wooden tip. And yet, detailed analysis shows the wooden tip of this stick to be utterly bare, okay? Therefore, there is only one conclusion. Wait, what does AG stands for? Whose name ends with G? I have no idea. Therefore, there is only one conclusion. The rod that you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, it's not a walking cane, is it? It's in fact no cane at all. Oh no, I'm on the same track as him. Uh-oh. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer to the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle with which you evidently would like to conceal is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. Huh? From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. What walking cane demands such a stout handle, mused I. But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, that rod. I don't think so. Isn't it like a mallet of some sort? I think. It's the broken handle of a shovel. What? Are you insane? He's a bit insane, yes. And now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive for coming here, I think, is to pawn it. Was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises for what? What a calculated crime you have conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. No. No shows. Hang on, let me just show you? Oh, I guess not. I was gonna make myself disappear. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbrokery with a broken shovel. What on earth do you propose I could expect to find there? Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose. Say, for such a fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have to do as you say? Oh, but there is ample reason. As you are only too well aware, Miss Benedict. Oh, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this and covertly dig beneath its floor. Yeah, tell me. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. I have no idea. This letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewerage works, beneath this shop runs a sewer that adjoins another. One that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the road. That's way too elaborate, come on. There's no way he wants to do that. This madness has entered the sewers now, has it? By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you would gain access to the waterway that flows in very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institution opposite. What are you? In summary, sir, you devised a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels. No? Master plan? Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. With what plunder did the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of the bank? Are you quite serious? Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. Please don't tell people. But naturally the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. No, don't tell him. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. A postcard of the Great Exhibition. I'm afraid you've quite lost me. Currently in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway. And the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank on the other side of this road. Why would you tell people that? Pardon? Yes, the considerable crime you have been contemplating is the theft of that which sits in the vault of that bank. The special reserve funds for the Great Exhibition? Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your head, please. Sholmes, Sholmes. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this pawnbroking puzzle, and also Sherlock Holmes' great reveal of secrets which should not be known to public. Great. Mr. Holmes? Well, Mr. Naruhodo, an impressively upbeat deduction for a detective wracked with loneliness, would you not agree? No. Was it true what you said about the bank over the road and what it has in its vault? You... Indeed, though no few know of its existence, it is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets. Why did you tell us? Gregson told me in the strictest confidence, then why did you say it out loud? But you just announced it to everyone here, rather loudly in fact. Ah. And if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict have come to find out about it? There can be but one explanation for that. Clearly it is because the man is a criminal. But what if he didn't know anything about the money in the vault? If he is a criminal as you said, then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does now that you've revealed the secret. Oh. Or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Windybank will. He already has plenty of shovels here after all. Oh my life! I assure you, I'm not so unscrupulous. Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Yeah, no. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost of care. It should teach you that lesson. One can never be assured that someone privy to secrets won't disclose them. And once the word is out, it's out. Yeah, by you. Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Sholmes. An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo. An excellent idea. Great. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, you know what to do, I'm sure. Yeah, let's get some shovels. Yes, let's listen to that great deduction again and see if we can massage it into shape. Very well then, let's start once more from the beginning. Of Sherlock Holmes' magnificent logic and reasoning spectacular. Let's go. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. Okay, so what do we do here? Court record. Yeah, as revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. Yeah. So, by Mr. Sholmes' reasoning, Mr. Benedict came here in order to apply for a job so he could dig down through the floor. Yes, in an attempt to tunnel into the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault of the bank across the road. But he wouldn't go very far with a broken shovel, would he? Yeah, it's not a shovel. No, I think it's fair to say his motives lie elsewhere. The question is where? What did bring Mr. Benedict here at this particular point in time? What brought you to this shop in the first place? Okay, so we have to find something else. I think... What's that? Wait. What's that? Can we read that? Oh. Look at all the scribbled notes on the back of the flyer here. I don't believe it. What is it? Listen to what it says. Name Ginella Lestrade. Height 5'2". Green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel. It's a detailed description of Miss Lestrade. Goodness! There's even a sketch of her, head and all. Although if he showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher in his face for sure. Look, the details of this shop has been written down here as well. Has been written down here too. Same thing, I guess. Windy Bank's Pawnbrokery, Baker Street, redemption deadline 15 April. Which is today's date? Oh, which is today's date? Why would Miss Benedict have all that information scrawled on the back of that piece of paper? I wonder too. Is that enough? Can we look at the cane? Can we just look at the cane? I just want to see the cane. That's a proper English gentleman's cane, isn't it? Look at the beautifully polished brass on the handle. Yes, but Mr. Sholmes is right. It's not the sort of handle you usually see on a cane. Yeah, it's not. It looks like it's meant to hit things like a ball. Like, you know, in a ball game? No? Perhaps it's the latest London fashion. I mean, that's just guesswork, of course. Perhaps you could adopt the cane, Mr. Naruhodo. It might rather suit you. For what? I have a feeling it might argue with the sword around my waist. Oh. Is that it? Is that all? Do I just present it? Do we have anything else? Stylish hat, let's go. That silk top hat is whiter than white. Only an English gentleman could hope to carry off something so bright. But it looks so incongruous with the black overcoat, don't you think? Yeah. Perhaps it's the latest London fashion. I mean, that's just guesswork, of course. How about it, Mr. Naruhodo? I think you look very fetching in a white top hat. We can try. Well, you know, I think it might look rather incongruous with my black university uniform, so... Okay. What? Is it the info then? I guess that's it? Do we have anything else on him? No. No. Is it? Oh, that's all. That's all. Okay, I guess this, but I wouldn't be able to get why he has that though yet.
Take that!
Ow. Okay. Is that good or bad? Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place? Is the info about Miss Lestrade? Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and sketch on the reverse of the flyer pertain to the pickpocket Miss Lestrade and to Mr. Windybank's pawnbrokery here. Ah! You originally told us that you had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade stole the redemption ticket from you, true? But that, sir, is a thinly veiled lie. It is the information on the back of the flyer that led you here today, by which I mean here to Windybank's pawnbrokery, and today the redemption deadline of that overcoat. So you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you have written down to arrive. Oh. And you have gone to some lengths to hide the reason for your pursuit of Miss Lestrade. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane with which you unwittingly clutched to your person exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. I'm not sure. What utter rot! I've had this cane for years. AG, sure. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule. No, it should be the AG, I think. What's a ferrule? It's a metal cap commonly found on the end of a cane, Mr. Naruhodo. The bit that makes the nice clicking sound on the pavement. Yes, exactly, and Mr. Sholmes is right. It appears to be missing on this cane. But it doesn't actually look broken, does it? No, it doesn't. Though the gentleman certainly did recoil when Mr. Sholmes identified the cane as suspicious. In other words, there's some secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather we don't know. Sure. Do we go straight for it? Let's look at it. Look here, Miss Sato. There are some letters on the handle. Ah yes, those must be initials, I think. In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letters of their names. So Herlock Sholmes would be HS, you mean? That's right. And the initials on this cane, obviously. Oh. AG? Why does it feel as though that's not quite right? It doesn't just feel, it is not quite right. So, if we do this and then we present that. Initially, it just auto-progress by itself. The contradiction of which I speak is of course the initialing. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Agate Benedict? We are led to believe that, sir, that your initials are EB. Yet, in the most possessive manner, you have in your grasp a cane bearing the initials AG. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed, would you not agree? No, you're wrong. This cane isn't. You said before that you'd had that cane for years. So don't try to tell us that you just borrowed it from a friend or found it in the park. In short, though you hold yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name. Okay. So his name is something else? You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rot you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle with which you evidently would like to conceal is the key to understanding this riddle. The handle? Let's consider the bare bones of what's happened here. Miss Lestrade redeemed that fine-looking overcoat. And now a mysterious man has appeared, introducing himself with a fake name and claiming that the overcoat belongs to him. But we know that he actually identified Miss Lestrade from a recent description, which suggests that everything else he's told us is untrue. So what we need to do here is somehow prove that the overcoat cannot possibly belong to him. So we need to look at the coat? This? What's that? Split seam. Oh, the seam on the shoulder there is coming apart, look. So it is. So it doesn't fit him, isn't it? Do you know, a moment ago when Mr. Benedict was surprised by something that was said, I thought I heard him making a rather strange noise. It sounded a bit like a tiny growl. But now I think it was probably the sound of this seam ripping open. If you look closely, it does seem to be a very tight fit. The sleeves are stretched to bursting and he wouldn't have a hope of fastening it at the front. If he were to run around in it, I'm sure the whole thing would fall apart. That I'd like to see. Sorry? So how can we make Mr. Benedict run around? A mouse? She's really giving this some thought. Do I talk about that? Is there something else? Anything else? I guess we can look at the handle. It is a rather strange handle for sure. Yes, certainly unusual for a gentleman's cane. You expect to see such a cane being twirled charmingly by its owner as it skips merrily down the street. Okay. You do? Something has just occurred to me. We have a shovel back in our office, don't we? No. No. Yes, you're right, and its handle is exactly the same shape as this cane's. Is it now? Here we go. Now I'm starting to wonder if it's not actually a cane at all, but a spade. Mr. Show's deductions are curiously compelling, aren't they? Why there are shoes up there? Why? Okay, fine. Is it just a seam then? Is it? Could it just be the seam? Fine, we'll do the seam.
Take that!
Okay. The split seam with which you evidently would like to conceal is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. Oh. Yes, because the overcoat is rather obviously a poor fit. Having forced it over your broad shoulders, the seam is already breaking apart. My suspicions were aroused from the outset. When you so boldly lied about your name and so boldly waylaid this pickpocket. Oh, this catalogue of untruths has all been for one very specific purpose. To steal the article that the young girl redeemed from Mr. Windybank. Okay. But what really irks me is this. The considerable crime I initially imagined has been considerably curtailed. Yeah, that was too much, honestly. To abscond with a redeemed item. Yeah. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have been planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, designed a whiz to filch some tawdry article of pawnage. Have you forgotten that I redeemed the article in the proper manner using the watchword? Yeah, I want to ask Gina Lestrade whether she gave the watchword to. Had I not been the one to deposit it in the first place, how could I possibly have known the relevant details? I have no idea how to pronounce that. Oh, but the watchword can be discovered. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword relating to the pawned property of another. He would have written it down somewhere, right? The method is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. The direction of the deduction must change rather dramatically now, I think. Yes, no more talk of tunneling into the sewers, which is a pity because it all sounded rather exciting and unrealistic, by the way, Naruhodo. Anyway, you can't deny that this mysterious gentleman did know the watchword. Yes, Professor. If you didn't know that word, Mr. Windybank would never allow you to redeem the article. Or looking at it another way, if you did know the word, Mr. Windybank would allow you to redeem the article whether it was yours or not. So the question is, could this gentleman have found the watchword out somehow? Yeah, maybe if he eavesdrop or there's a paper somewhere in the journal? Wait, I just want to see this. Just let me see this. Baker Street Works is the title. And it does mention Swish Works, as Mr. Shum said. Oh, and specifically mentions that tonight's sale at the confectionery shop on the corner won't be affected. Wow. Case solving first, confectionery later, Mr. Naruhodo. Confectionery sounds good though. My curse, my overly expressive face. This? Look at this, Mr. Sato. It appears to be a memo that Mr. Windybank has scribbled to himself. Let's see, what does it say? Oh, Professor. Right out in the open. Mr. Windybank must make a note of the watchwords his customers gave him right before their eyes. And in alarmingly clear script as well. Oh dear, I don't know where to look. Who knows what other secrets I might see? But how do you know it's the exact one you see? Okay. Nothing else? It's just... Nothing else? Okay. No? No, okay. This is Mr. Windybank's gun? Which we need to keep away from him? Yes, loaded with only one bullet, he said. It would appear that being a pawnbroker is a very life or death profession. That might just be this particular establishment. Okay, so anyway, right.
Take that!
The method is revealed by the notelet on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customer for the watchword and notes down the response uttered on a notelet he has to hand. Oh. Then he consults his ledger and confirms whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question. I would expect nothing less of a diligent pawnbroker, but his diligence clearly has its disadvantages. What are you talking about? It is increasingly apparent that you were present in this shop before your accusation against Miss Lestrade. In all likelihood, you followed her inside and then observed her talking to Mr. Windybank. Yeah, it's not that safe. When the diligent broker made a note of the watchword, as it is his common practice, you observed him writing the word professor on the notelet beside the ledger. And that, sir, was the master plan you devised to seal the point article from the young Miss Lestrade. Master plan? Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. Why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this pawnbroker? Are you quite serious? For an ill-fitting overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a worthless music box disc. But naturally you had very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea. Hang on, let me see. I have nothing. If it's not the music box disc, I think it is the music box disc though. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. These articles we're talking about are the overcoat and the music box disc that was in one of the pockets, which according to Mr. Windybank isn't even worth a penny. And yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why? I wonder if perhaps we already have the evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naruhodo? Could we? Really? I better have a thorough look at all the evidence. Do I have to observe it? Hang on. We've collected so far. Okay, hang on. Do I need to look? I know we have the blood there. Look at all the little bumps on the disc. They are so tiny. Yes, the partitions are called pins and they plug the tip of the comb to make knots. And just on the edge, there's a small amount of blood. Yeah. Yes, and the blood of the mysterious Mr. Agate Benedict. When Mr. Lestrade tried to grab the disc from him, the pin scratched his fingers, it seems. Like when you're grating some daikon radish and accidentally catch your finger. That sounds painful. Ouch! Just thinking about it hurts and it puts me off eating radish. It does. What's this? I figured there would be something at the back. For Mac Gilded. For Mac Gilded? Is that it? Does it say 4? This... I can't really read. Does it say 4? Okay. Oh, there's a little scrap of paper stuck onto the reverse side of the disc, look. And a scribbled word or two. It looks like somebody's name. Yeah. Do you not see it? For Mac Gilded. Mac Gilded? It couldn't be. But it is, Mr. Naruhodo. A name I shall never forget as long as I live. But why? Why is his name on this? Because she helped him? This is his payment for it, I guess? The music box disc, okay. Right, but why though? I don't know why. Okay. Do we just present it?
Take that!
Let's go. You see, this music box disc tells us all we need to know. Was it? On the back? It reads for Mac Gilded. Mr. Magnus MacGilded, the unfortunate philanthropist who perished in curious circumstances at the Old Bailey 2 months ago. Right. A prominent man in London, though his malone-mongering had demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. Right. So you're an associate of his, are you? Or perhaps a subordinate? Mr. MacGilded was a man of unusually small stature. In fact, he was precisely the right size for that overcoat that you've squeezed yourself into. Was he? Should be shorter though. Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Agate Benedict. But the final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbroker today was to retrieve an article left behind by the late Magnus MacGilded. Did Magnus MacGilded put him up to it? He's like, he promises Gina illustrate this, but then he backs out like he didn't really want to pay her. Then so he actually arranged for this guy to get it back. Is that it? Don't you go disappearing on me now. Don't run out. Don't run away. To acquire an item deposited by Mr. McGilded. Elementary. Okay. Are you gonna stay or are you gonna run? Well, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected to hear in these circumstances. So, Benedict. Mrs. Sholmes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind. Pray tell, Miss Susato. Well, according to what Mr. Windibank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the code could have been redeemed, was it not? Yes, madam, that is correct. Today would be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited. Well, today is 15 April, so 2 months ago today. Would have been 15 February, sir. That's right. Is all work carefully recorded in my ledger? Deposited at 10:30 p.m. I see. What? But that suggests... Yes, 15 February. It's precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place. Oh, was it? And 10:30 in the evening is precisely the time at which the terrible events were unfolding. Oh. Suggestive is not a word. It would seem this matter is entirely beyond coincidence. Oh. What are we getting at? You are, of course, at liberty to make whatever outlandish deductions you choose. However, when did you have the gun? Is that the gun that was on the counter? I must insist you hand over the music box this now. It would be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box. What do I do? Do we die? Wait, let me see. Okay, so... I mean, if that's the gun on the counter, he has only one shot. He just has to miss us. I don't know how he's gonna miss us, but he has to miss us. Realistically, I would hand over the disc. But... no. Let's see whether we game over. There are some things a man must protect at all costs. This may well be one of those things. Then again, it may not. Wait. Oh, okay, no, never mind. So, alright, so he has his own gun, yeah. Mr. Windibank, this is my shop. I can't allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I should have to take my own life. Mr. Windibank, no. Alright, that's enough. Who? Ah, thank goodness. Inspector Gregson. Inspector? That's right, Sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines. So somebody called? For help? So we got here as fast as we could. Now, what's all this about, eh? Oh, Prisby, you're here at last, are you? I was moments away from forfeiting my own life in my very own establishment. But would it seem you have the upper hand? Arrest him, please. He tried to kill us. Right, you have got some explaining to do. I don't appreciate being bothered with some petty argy-bargy. Petty? Mr. Windibank was very nearly met with his hand. Yeah, by his own gun, as far as I can tell. Oh dear. And the whole of Britain could meet with its end if I don't get to the bottom of the case I'm supposed to be working on. What's that? What? What on earth is the case, Inspector? Spare no detail, Gregson. I might have said a little too much. No matter, it's nothing to do with you lot. Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me down to the station. Yeah, for pointing a gun at us. But of course, Inspector. Yeah, he's gonna run. He's getting away. After him, lads. Whistle the beat officer too. Sir. Why are you still here? Go. Go. There's been a spate of thefts at pawn shops around here recently, so we visited emergency buttons underneath the counters for brokers to let us know when there's trouble. Oh, Inspector, I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed. Now then, Mr. Permanently in mourning. Oh, yes. I'll be taking whatever it is of Miss McGillis down to the yard. Thank you very much. So hand it over. Oh, yes, of course. No, don't. Don't give it to him. It's mine. It's mine. I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGill has to be taken as evidence now. As evidence? If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. We have no choice. It's the police. Also, he saved us, I guess. And so, we handed Mr. McGilder's keys over to Inspector Gregson and were summarily turfed out of the shop onto the street. Do we end here? With to be continued. Okay, I guess that's a good point to stop. So until the next time, I'm surprised no murder has happened yet. It's good if there isn't, of course, but like at this point, I'm half expecting someone to die. But anyway, I don't know where this is going from here on, and I'm looking forward to it. So until the next time, thank you for watching and goodbye.